Hey guys, Lord Naren, White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God, back with you with the next video in my Pentiment playthrough. Without further ado, returning to Pentiment. So now we go to the Rothskeller. So let's explore with Andreas Mailer. How cool is this? Magdalene. Alright, that wall is different. Does that mean this is the place? Andreas, no, it's two-sided, new and old. This was above ground once, it carried water. Look. Magdalene, all right, I think I can make it out. Cornelius today and 6 Mithraeum. Andreas, Cornelius went to the baths today and achieved the 6th step in the Mithraeum. Wow. Isn't it so amazing that that Latin decision I picked for Andreas way back when I picked Latin for him? It's paying off here. And I actually felt like that the whole way. I should have just picked Latin for uh, Magdalene as well, but I didn't because I picked it for Andreas. You see? Magdalene. No, I most certainly do not see, Andreas. Andreas, well, here. Magdalene. We could say nothing, or a warning would be nicer. What is wrong with you? Andreas, Oh, well, many things probably, physically and mentally. No time to talk about that now, though. This is the aqueduct. Magdalene, yes, and? Andreas, it will take us to the baths, then to the Mithraeum. Magdalene, all right. Andreas, there. After you, please. Eight. Manu propria. Andreas, the decoration, these must have been the baths. Magdalene, it doesn't look like there's a way through. Andreas, silt. All the floods kept carrying it down here. Hundreds of years of floods. What if we can't get through? What if it's buried forever? Magdalene, I don't know. Maybe some things are just lost to time, or it's too early to get this discouraged. Let's keep looking. Magdalene, this part of the tunnel has collapsed. We're not getting to the Mithraeum this way. Andreas, I think. Yes, Casper and I found a collapsed section of the aqueduct near town. We didn't find out what was on the other side. I wouldn't let him explore it. I should have taken more care with him. Magdalene, say nothing, or... Andreas, we can't do anything about that now. Andreas, yes, of course. Magdalene, this part of the tunnel has collapsed. We're not getting to the Mithraeum this way. Interesting. So back to the bathhouse, or... is there some other way? Well, we're not actually getting back through there, so... we do have to figure out our own way here. So not seeing any other path here, we can't go back through there. So nothing in the bathhouse. We can't actually return through the walls there. So where else are we supposed to go? Magdalene, this part of the tunnel has collapsed. We're not getting to the Mithraeum that way. This way. So I got no idea, because the bathhouse doesn't work either. Unless I'm not seeing something. Sure doesn't make sense to me here. We can't go through this tunnel area. The only option is the bathhouse. Correct, there's no other option here. I don't see any other way because we can't actually progress through there, and yeah. We can't actually progress through there, so yeah. Yeah, there's nothing here, right? Yeah, we have no ability to progress through here. Can we talk with Andreas? No. Same thing. What could I be missing? Oh, here we go. Magdalene, more stairs down. Would something be below the baths? Andreas, a hypocaust. They use warm air to heat the rooms above. Roman colonies in the north often had them. Magdalene, let's hope those haven't filled with silt as well. Magdalene, do you know where we're going? These pillars just go on in all directions. Andreas, could you look that way? I think I'm going to try exploring ahead. Andreas, of course. Lorenz, how could you abandon your work, Andreas? I thought you were a true artist, a master of your craft, but all you created was misery. Lucky, did you even believe I was the one who did it? Or could you just stomach my death more easily? Guy, an eye for an eye, Andreas. You may have condemned me, but in doing so, you damned yourself as well. Casper, Master, why did you send me back into the flames? Andreas, no, no, this isn't right. I can't be here right now. How did I get here? Melancholia, Andreas. Andreas, you're still here. Melancholia, yes, for a little longer. Andreas, I thought I had gone mad, or you're leaving? Melancholia, I am the last vestige of reason that once ruled this court. When it goes, I will go with it. Andreas, but who will rule the city if you leave? Melancholia, no one. You must leave this place forever, Andreas. You must abandon it for good. Andreas, but how? What can I do? I don't even know how I got here. Melancholia, this was once a place of refuge for you, Andreas. But it has become a prison. Prison you constructed to protect yourself. Andreas, from what? Melancholia, from pain? From risk? From life itself? Andreas, but I can't stay here. I have to help Magdalene. How do I get out? Melancholia, Andreas, you are the architect. I will help you as best I can, but you are the only one who can answer that. Oh, I got it. Okay. Sabine, hello, Andreas. Say nothing or... Is that you, Sabine? Sabine, yes, of course. I'm still here. Part of me will always be here with you. We haven't talked in so long. Why? We could say you reminded me of August, or everything fell apart, or I ran out of things to say. Sabine, you ran away from life. Andreas, I didn't want to deal with it, any of it, or nothing turned out the way I thought it would. Sabine, you ran away from the people who loved you. Andreas, it seemed less painful than running away, or I didn't know what to do with that love. I wasn't ready for it. Sabine, I know. I didn't make it easy for you. It was hard for both of us. I don't blame you for anything. And you should stop blaming yourself. It may be too late for us, but it's not too late for you, Andreas. It's not too late for Magdalene. Andreas, yes, Magdalene. I have to help her. Sabine, you can, Andreas, but you have to leave this place behind for good. Andreas, I know, I can. I will. Sabine, you will. Andreas, thank you, Sabine. Will I ever see you again? Sabine, not in this place, but maybe someday in a better place, in a better dream. I'm wondering if we'll see Andreas' father, Josef. Casper, Master Andreas. Andreas, oh, Casper, it's really you. Casper, it's good to see you again, Master. Andreas, say nothing, or how can you say that? You died because of me. Casper, I just wanted to help you, Master Andreas. You couldn't think straight. You shouldn't blame yourself anymore. Andreas, what should I do? Or, I let my family down. I let you down. I couldn't stop Peter. Couldn't save Tassing. I couldn't even save more than a couple armfuls of books. Casper, you did what you could, Master. Everyone knows you did. That's all any of us can do. All right, Casper, thank you. Casper, thank you for everything you taught me. Wait, what happened? This was the way out. Before I started talking to Casper, I know this was the way out. Beatrice, your mind is fighting itself, Andreas. It remembers the pain of life. It's trying to protect you from it. Beatrice? Yes. I thought you were gone. You brought me back. Andreas, oh. So what do I do now? Beatrice, keep going. So we're going back. Who else might we talk to? Casper was clearly the guy that we definitely needed to talk to. August. Andreas, say nothing, or you too? It's been so many nights, so many years without seeing your face. I thought I had forgotten it. August. Andreas, we could say, I know you were still here though, or I know there's nothing I could have done, but it doesn't make me feel any less guilty. It's always there under the surface, no matter how I try to bury it. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. August. Andreas, August, it's all right. Andreas, what? August, it's all right, Daddy. Andreas, it is? August, you don't have to hide here anymore. Andreas, we could say, but what about you and Casper, or... I'm scared, August. I don't want to believe Andreas is scared. And your mother. August, we're not really here. There are people who need you. Andreas, it's so hard to let you go, or what if I can't help them? August, I don't know, Daddy. I'm too little. I think you have to figure that out on your own. Andreas, of course. You're right. Thank you. August, I love you, Daddy. Andreas, I love you too. Good night, August. August, good night. Andreas, they shifted again, the walls. Beatrice, it's still trying to protect you. Andreas, no. Beatrice, it's not. Andreas, no, I mean no, I don't have to do this. This is my mind, my maze, and I'm leaving. Beatrice, good. But this next part might be confusing. Andreas, what? I don't understand. I don't understand any of this. You could say, did I make this, or why are you holding the mace? Beatrice, two things are merging in your mind. Andreas, you and... Beatrice, there are layers to everything, even our memories. Over time, the foundations have become buried. We can no longer recall how we got here. No longer recall what came before. Andreas, and what came before? Beatrice, Our Lady, watching over the labyrinth as I watch over you. And even this has roots that reach deep into the past. There is not always a lady to watch over the labyrinth, but there was a labyrinth. Andreas, what? I don't understand. Sister Amelie, is this real? Am I still in my mind? Amelie, you are here with me, and we are here in spirit. Andreas, you looked like Beatrice a moment ago, or are we still in the ruins? Amelie, we are back in the tabernacle, the heart of the labyrinth. Your spirit was wandering, and the Lord brought you here. Andreas, but I don't understand. How did you leave your cell? Amelie, I have not. We are only here in spirit, Andreas. Andreas, are you here to save me? Or, I'm seeing things. This isn't real, it can't be. Or, am I having a vision? We'll say the first one. Amelie, I am here to serve the Lord's will. If it is His will that I save you, I will. Magdalene, Andreas? Sister Amelie? What are you doing here, sister? Amelie, this is the center of the labyrinth, the tabernacle. It is where the Lord sends my spirit to do His will. He has also guided your spirits here. There must be a purpose to it. Magdalene. We could say, Sister, we're looking for the Mithraeum, is this it? Or, the Lord's will, what do you mean? Or, no, this isn't my spirit, I walked here, through the aqueduct. Amelie, Mithraeum, no. This is the tabernacle, not a place of wood and stone, but a place of spirit. The Lord has called me to this place for many years. God has always made His will known. Excuse me, I should have clicked that. Andrea's sister, how does your spirit come to this place? Amelie, through the door between life and death. When my spirit hears the call, it descends through my grave. Here, the Lord tells me what messages I must bear and to whom. Magdalene, how? It was almost impossible for us to reach this place. Or you deliver messages? Amelie, yes. Once long ago, I was a scribe. I copied many works of the great church doctors, Origen in particular. But that all ended with the fire. It ended with my life. Andreas, wait. Amelie, I thought I had given up the pen forever until the visions returned. Wow. Oh my. Andreas, no! Amelie, when fire took my abbey, I couldn't save my sisters, not one. All I could grab was a single book and a bolt of cloth. I couldn't understand why God had spared me alone, but He showed me. God had a higher purpose for my hand. Father Thomas explained it to me. He makes everything clear. He tells me what I must do, what the Lord wills me to do. Andreas, it was you. This whole time you wrote the notes. Magdalene, I found one by my dad when he was attacked. Andreas, Sister Amelie, you pushed those people into committing murder. Amelie, what? No, no, that can't be true. The Lord would not use me for such a purpose. Magdalene, we can say maybe it wasn't the Lord's will but your own, or that's what happened, sister. You wrote those notes, or calm yourself, sister, we'll figure this out. Andreas, this doesn't make any sense. Why would Amelie want anyone dead? Amelie, no, I wouldn't. He wouldn't. There was nothing in his messages about murder. No, no, no. I am not here. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Yeah! Thomas, Sister Amelie, shh, it's all right. Magdalene, Father Thomas, how did you get down here? Thomas, Tassing is an old place. It's buried many ancient roads and tunnels over the centuries. People walk above the hidden ways every day without even knowing it. Though in truth it was Sister Amelie who rediscovered them first, and found this place. Andreas, Father Thomas, did you? Thomas, in other circumstances, I would be overjoyed to see you, Andreas. In truth, I am still happy you are alive, thank God. But I think the occasion of this reunion leaves little to rejoice about. Andreas, you. Magdalene, we could say you and Sister Amelie were behind all of the murders, or you knew about this place? Thomas, yes. knowing about this place, the Mithraeum, is why I did all of this. I had to keep it hidden, and I did until now. Magdalene, why? Thomas, look around you. What do you see? Magdalene, we could say Roman ruins or paintings of Saint Moritz and Saint Satia. Look closer. No, it's Mars. Magdalene and Diana. I don't understand. Thomas, it's Saint Moritz and Saint Satia, and Mars and Diana. Magdalene, how can it be both? Or the saints are the gods? Or that sounds almost heretical, Father Thomas. Thomas, and you have almost come to the heart of the problem. When the Romans left Tassing, their buildings, their temples, their statues remained. Christians settled here centuries later. They found time-worn fragments of that imperial grasp. The statue of Mars that once stood here, they settlers believed it was Saint Moritz, who was already a legend where they had come from. You would be able to read what I just missed, actually. It's because I was trying to click on something there. They found the shrines to Satia, and not understanding she was an aspect of Diana, believed she was another local saint. Magdalene, we could say, why didn't the church do something, or so the people turned them into saints? Thomas, sanctity and sainthood exist outside of what people believe, Magdalene. People cannot turn someone into a saint any more than they can unmake the divinity of Christ. But they knew of the saints and learned local legends of the region and applied them to the figures they had found here. No one knew they were Roman gods because there was no account of what the Romans did and left here. Andreas, except for Historia Tassae. Thomas, but Historia Tassae was not known then. Perhaps it had not even been written then. Who knows how long that book had been lost for before it made its way to Father Matthias? Andreas, and you killed him for it. Thomas, yes, with poison. No one suspected. Magdalene, hold on, who was Father Matthias again? Magdalene, wait, what? You killed someone? Thomas, may God forgive me. I did, yes. When Father Matthias learned that there was no evidence that Saint Moritz had ever come to Tassing, that the shrine to him in the meadow was a statue of Mars that the Romans had elected hundreds of years ago, that Saint Satia was the Roman goddess Diana, he resolved to deal with it. Andreas, and you resolved to deal with him. Thomas, Andreas, our people believed in Saint Moritz. They believe in the miracles of God has worked through his hand. And they believe in the legend of Saint Satia, that she helped Moritz and watches over Tassing still. Magdalene, and that was worth killing the abbot, or what does it matter if they were wrong, if the saints weren't here? Thomas, then what does that mean for the hand of Saint Moritz? What does it mean for the people who prayed to him, to Saint Satia, and believed their prayers were answered? What does it mean for the church that has given people hope, fixed like a false star in the dark sky? If the people have a reason to doubt the validity of the saints, can they doubt the church? Can they doubt the gospel, the word of God? Magdalene, we could say, perhaps some would, but you've always told us that we have to accept Christ of our own free will. Or, do you have so little faith in ordinary people, Father Thomas? Or, the saints themselves have doubts, Father. St. Augustine struggled greatly, as did St. Flora, Andreas, and the apostles, Bartholomew, and your namesake, Father Thomas. Thomas, yes, of course, but they are saints. They possess a deep and abiding faith that carries them through that doubt. The people of Tassing we're just ordinary. Magdalene, do you have so little faith in ordinary people, Father Thomas? Thomas, I have faith in God, and I have seen firsthand what can happen when people become disconnected from our God, when people believe that all just authority is false, that their own education and region are superior to divine truth. Magdalene, you've always told us that we have to accept Christ with our own free will. Thomas, yes, of course, but preserving the legends of our saints doesn't interfere with individual volition. Andreas, you are preserving a lie. Thomas, I preserved a lie to illuminate greater truth. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. If you believe this, if you truly believe this, eternal life is yours. And saints have walked among us, and their relics work miracles, and they hear our prayers and answer them. Andreas, and the two that protect this town were never here. Thomas, they don't need to know that, Andreas. There are times when God feels so far away from us in these mountains. But a peasant in Tassing can stand in a field, look over our valley and say, St. Moritz was here. God was with us, and he is with us still, and he will be with us always. And that is the truth, ever, if the legend of St. Moritz is a lie. Magdalene, so many people have died because of what you've done. And do you think this justifies all this? Thomas, I know this is hard to believe, but I was trying to save lives, to prevent death. Andreas, but one murder didn't solve the problem, did it? Because one day Baron Rothwigel rode into town with another copy of Historia Tessier, a copy he promised to give to the abbot so Kearsarge could come to terms with its past. And if Father Gernot read its contents, you would be facing the same danger you saw in Father Matthias. Thomas, in retrospect, given how Father Gernot chose to run the abbey, my fears may have been unfounded. Magdalene, that sentiment didn't prevent you from doing it again, or do you think he wouldn't have cared? Thomas, whether he cared or not, I think the abbot would have been more concerned with preserving the abbey. But there was also the Baron himself. Given his provocations, he surely would have told the people eventually. Andreas, but then why Otto? Certainly he didn't have anything to do with Historia Tessier. He couldn't even read. In the end, his murder provoked Peter and the others into destroying the abbey. Thomas, I never thought that would happen. I underestimated Peter's anger and the peasants' frustration. Magdalene, we could say, you seem to have a difficult time reading people, Father. Or, so you killed him to prevent an uprising, but it caused it instead. Thomas, someone else killed him, as someone else killed Baron Rothwigel, and it wasn't to prevent an uprising, but to stop him from showing people what he found. What he found when he was helping to dig the foundations of Rothus. Magdalene, something from our pagan ancestors, or bones, evidence of some other murder, or the wall of the aqueduct. Thomas, no, everyone knows about the old aqueducts. That wouldn't cause alarm. What he found was a stone head. The missing head of the statue in the meadow, the statue at the shrine of St. Moritz. Magdalene, how did it wind up over here? Thomas, the most likely culprits are rain, floods, and time. Magdalene, Black Till told me that farmers find old tools and pottery in the fields every year. Thomas, yes, and this head remained hidden for centuries. It sat in the soil until Otto found it, and he was going to show everyone that God had favored the town with his discovery. What Otto could not know was that our shrine statue was not of St. Moritz, because Otto could not read the words chiseled across the helmet, Mars Pater. Andreas, but the man he entrusted with this information, the town priest, could. Thomas, yes. Andreas, and you told him to meet you on St. John's Eve at the Rathaus. Thomas, I could not let him destroy our town's beliefs. Andreas, and you had poor Sister Amelie write down what you told her were visions she couldn't remember, and deliver them in the dead of night to Guy, to Hannah, to Martin, so that one of them would murder Otto just as someone murdered Lorenz. Magdalene, what about my father? Thomas, I'm sorry, Magdalene. Magdalene, we could say, I've lived next to you my whole life, how could you? Or why did you do it? It doesn't make any sense. Was it because of the mural? Thomas, yes. Klaus pursued the project with the determination of a guilty man doing penance. He kept digging and digging for answers about Tassing's past, Kearsarge's past. I was afraid that sooner or later he would find out about Moritz, Satia. This place, everything. Magdalene, remain silent, or so you tried to kill him. Thomas, no, I tried to scare him. First with the note, but he ignored it. I thought if I ransacked the workshop it would scare him off. I didn't expect him to come down so quickly. It was just an accident. Magdalene, say nothing. It wasn't an accident. You almost killed him. Thomas, I know. Andreas, so what are you going to do now? Kill me? Kill Magdalene? Thomas, no, of course not. I have neither the means nor the will to do so. But even if I can't stop you from telling people what I've done, I can stop them from finding this place. Andreas. Magdalene, what are you doing? Or, no, Father Thomas, stop. Thomas, it's too late for me, but I can still take Tassing's secrets with me. Andreas, Father, you're going to kill us all. You're going to kill Amelie. Thomas, then leave and take her with you. You can tell the townsfolk what you want, but if you stay here, we'll die together. Magdalene, you'd really kill yourself and destroy the church just to hide this secret? Or, you can't stop people from learning the truth, or, Father Thomas, this is suicide. Thomas, I believe it is an act of faith, and if it is not, I am prepared to answer for it. Andreas, father! Thomas, go! And that is where we'll go ahead and end the video there for this week. And so, with that, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light to be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.